This project was taken into account before others because this was the one who had the biggest necessity of being supplied. Studies on the cost, the necessary land, and the management costs of making the project were taken into account and calculated, and after all the managerial prospect and the cash flow analysis, this was the most valuable project. Privately sponsored with interest in investing in this project, and in that area we started the construction of this health center. The work present below details the cost and the subcontract to be realized in the construction of a health center, applying knowledge of business and strategic plans and cost management for the implementation of the project to be as viable as possible and to be a social work and is not expected repayment of the loan. Justification of the project. Guatemala is considered a country with an underdeveloped economy with very high rates of poverty, hunger and lack of health centers. All of these factors are taken into account when the country tries to move onward to make something better. Most of the poor community of the country don't even have a good healthcare center to treat their sick and injured ones. Because of this lack of services, the people cannot develop new skills or try to make something to go out of the situation of misery. This is because of this that is considered as a national urgency to create and maintain numerous health care centers all around the country with the same objective, to make the Guatemala population healthier. This goal can be achieved with the help of independent organizations and private funding to make good and long-term projects that are going to develop the community they are building. Because of all of the multiple consequences of a bad health in the community, we consider the importance and urgency of building a healthcare center within a poor community. General objectives: apply knowledge of business enhancement, administration strategies, and the cash flow tools to ensure that this specific project will be a feasible one and will help to development. Specific objectives: to identify the needs of the area where the project will be built and to make sure that these needs are fulfilled. To have a specified and detailed analysis of the resources that will be used and the cost of the project. To acknowledge the fact that this project is an urgent necessary to the community and make the project from the most viable way possible to ensure low cost and a great use of the facility.
Okay, my name is Eduardo and I will present the description and evaluation of the project. Okay, so first of all, for us to present the project, we have to know the budget. We can do this by knowing the specified details on and the price and cost of the project. We need to have a very specified budget of the things that we're going to use in this project. For example, the materials like ceramic floor, tiles, toilets, sinks, cement, and the metal doors. Also, for example, when we are going to use when we make the building, for example, the foundations, the wall raising, the chair installation, and the skin and the wall finishing. Also, according to the chief in charge of the construction, the building can be finished within a year. So during this year, there are also going to be other expenses. For example, the payment for the food and the shelter of the workers, and also water, electricity, and other supplies that we may have to pay at some times. Okay, so for the whole budget, taking into account the direct labor for construction, subcontracts and purchases, materials, and other expenses, we have a grand total of 161,353 quetzales with 81 cents. Because the money for this project will come from a private investor, the total amount of the money for the construction will be divided in three parts: 50%, 30%, and 20%. The first part will be paid to begin the project, the second one when the project is at the middle, and the third one is when the project is going to be delivered and presented. The budget for the project will come from private funding and through specialized agencies in Guatemala who want to invest in a building that is going to develop a community or a specialized area. Also, there are some costs that will arrive in time, like maintenance of some things after a certain period of time. But this will be handled by the organization that is going to be in charge of the administration of the healthcare center. Also, the terrain in which the building is going to be is already property of one of the investors, so there is no other cost in the terrain plus the taxes paid over the years. Because the total cost of the project won't be paid as one full amount, the money will be paid like this, in 3 dividends. Beginning of the construction of 80,666 quetzales. The second phase will have a cost of 48,406 quetzales, and the payment for the finishing of the project will be 32,270 quetzales. Because this will be a social project, there are not going to be any measurable incomes, just the benefit that the community might get with the construction of the facility. From this instance, the project can be considered as a must because the place where it's going to be located is in a major lack of healthcare center. Okay, and because the payments, the constructor told that the payments and the building can be finished within 1 year. Okay, so for the evaluation of the project, we will calculate the net present value, and this value is going to be worked with an annual interest of 10%, which is the average rate in which banks give their loans, and also is the average rate to calculate the inflation or devaluation of the price of money over the time. After we calculate this amount of money, we get that if today we paid the whole money for the project, it would cost 156,074 quetzales. So it's considered as a major project, and also it's considered as a very good project to be done.
Conclusion. The area of the community of study had a lot of lacks in the health area because many people need to be transferred to a healthcare center that were far from the region. With this, we came to the conclusion that the area only needs to have a healthcare center. Thus, initial actions, they conclude the construction of the project. After obtaining the cost and risk that we can assume with the construction of the project, we can conclude that the construction of a health center in that location will have a positive impact on people, because in that place there are in desperate need of attention. As noted, the project will be funded by a private company that has private sponsors willing to invest in this area.
Okay, so we can also conclude that this healthcare center is an urgent need and complement to the community's development, and for this reason all of the possible costs and expenses were taken into account, like inflation of the prices and the maintenance over the construction time. All of these factors were considered to deliver an analysis as close to the reality as possible, to ensure that this project will last and will be good for both investors and the receivers of the community. And so this was all of our project, and I hope you liked it.